Hello, Internet, and welcome back to my Sky Island playthrough. And it looks like we were mid-expedition. I believe we were about to head back to Extract. I know we got an anvil in a previous episode. I think we brought a stove or something as well, so we would have another appliance. And big news, I have finally updated my game. So we are on a modern version here. I backed up everything I was working on, and oh, your battery falls to the ground. Your battery falls into your light jacket. Your roll of robotics in modern day manufacturing falls to the ground. Yeah, so one of the first things we're going to notice, which is a recent change, is that batteries have had a lot of their charge reduced, which did make people angry. And I don't really think it's worth getting angry over. Basically, you know, like previously, so here we have an MP3 player. This is presumably containing a light battery. Currently, in the old days, this battery would contain 100 battery charge. Now it contains 33. This is not like a lot of people were angry about this. It makes sense. Our batteries were way too powerful. They lasted way too long. And it was an effort to kind of rein that in, make it a little more realistic, make them a little bit more like, you know, things you actually have to seek out instead of just always having an infinite supply all the time. But really, it was a realism thing. And so yeah, that's an update recently that people are kind of mad about. So that's why we saw our batteries kind of flop around and reduce charge. So when we get back to base, some of them might be overcharged. They might not migrate correctly, but that's not something to super worry about. And then the other thing, which is a huge deal, is that you see here it says you were squeezed uncomfortably into the cramped space. That's because we moved into the vehicle seat here. There are some huge issues going on with fitting into vehicles. Basically, you know, we wanted to make it so you can't really drive while you're wearing a backpack, while you're carrying, you know, 200 pounds of stuff, that sort of thing. But it was definitely over-tuned, and so there were a lot of issues with like even a naked character not being able to fit into their seat. Now that's been patched a few times since over the month when I did an update. So it looks like we're able to drive here and it's not going to be too much of an issue, but we do need to keep an eye on this at some point. All the stuff you're carrying isn't making it easier to move in here. Yeah. So we're going to drive back to Extract. I don't know where the exit is in this building. I don't know if we have to follow like a gate somewhere or something to get out of here. So let's turn on our headlights so we can actually see where we're going. See if we can zoom out any further and see. Oh, nope, super zoomed. So let's just follow the path, I guess, and we'll figure out a way to get out of here. Yeah, there's the road. That's fine. Yeah, so just, you know, as a heads up, might sound a little different today, or, it's very embarrassing to always talk about this sort of stuff, but I've been doing very, very poorly. This time it's my physical health, some medication changes and things like that. And one medicine in particular is we recently stopped, and I didn't think it would affect me, but it's been absolutely devastating to not be on that medication, which I was not expecting. So I've been doing like just super bad. I can't sleep. I'm so tired all the time. I have not been productive. I didn't realize how much it would affect me. So if I seem different or low energy, or if I say things that don't really make sense, it's that, which is part of why I've been avoiding recording, is because I was afraid I would, you know, maybe not present super well, which is, you know, a concern when you're putting it out there for thousands of people to potentially watch. But yeah, we're going to record. So I don't know where the extract actually is. The bicycle, no, that's our old extract. I think if we just keep heading west, we didn't mark it on the map, but if we get close, we should be able to see it in like the memory tiles, like where we can kind of see where we were before. Like, what is this? No, that's just blackness down there. So obviously we didn't go far south. So, okay, there it is. I was going to say, I don't want to get lost here and never be able to find our extract. Oh, and I meant to look through the dump site before we left to pick up like long strings and things like that. That's okay. And we didn't really get any food this expedition, so we don't have, like, we're hungry. We can eat back at base. It's not a big deal, but all right, so let's have a look at what we actually got, because it's been a long time since I recorded here. Looking through our stuff, just basic survival kit. Looks like we picked up a survival kit, some protein powder and stuff. I don't know why I picked that up. Don't really care about that. A few books, which is good. That's right. If I recall correctly, that one building was like, it made no sense. It was just sort of empty but full of books. Like no food, no furniture, really, just books. And then we got a lot of rocks, and here you'll see we have battery 33. That's like that, you know, kind of floating charge that shouldn't actually be there, that popped out of our battery, I think. So that's weird, but that's okay. And we got a duffel bag. I don't know why I picked that up. We're looking for leather backpacks and backpacks for an upgrade that we need. Got some kerosene, and then someone did comment, you know, I commented on this book previously. It was a young girl in Iran comic book, which I thought sounded really interesting. Someone did say that's based on a real book, which sounds awesome. Like, this sounds like genuinely an interesting comic book, but I don't recall what it was called, and I don't have it open, so I can't look at my comments. But anyway, we got this anvil. Is like probably the coolest thing that we found, because this is something that, you know, I see people lament on Discord saying they can't find an anvil, so we'll pick that up. We are overburdened, and then we're going to wield the disconnected thing. We're going to store our bat, and hopefully we can carry all this back to our base. I should probably put my headphones on. I just realized I don't have sound. I'm very out of it. Sorry about that. Almost fell over setting up the mic as well. Just so dizzy lately. So let's just head back to base, and we'll drop off our stuff. And it's nighttime, so we'll work on whatever I don't really know. With the anvil, we still... Oh, actually, let's save first, because I did update, and I'm afraid it'll break when we go back. So let's save, and then you'll be teleported back to your Sky Island. Any items not on your person will be lost. That's fine. Let's head back. Hopefully you don't break. You've returned home safely. We've got 50 material tokens, and we failed kill 50 zombies this expedition. Yeah, that was just never going to happen in the dark, kind of on foot and all that stuff. Let's have a look at our little base here. We got our well set up. We've got our charcoal kiln, which is not done, I assume. 14 hours, that's fine. Actually, that's a bit strange, because wasn't it 23 hours when we left, and we were only gone for like 2 hours? I don't know. Maybe we missed something. Let's take down our stove and set that up. Oh, I should have dropped the anvil so we weren't quite as overweight as we are. And then because of the power grid, I kind of want it over here, so it's like out of the way and it's not stacked in the corner, and we would be able to cook near the table and things like that. But I think even for stoves and stuff, it counts up to 6 tiles away, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And we need it to be next to these appliances in order to plug it in. So how do we do? We do construction, and we look for place. And it should just be place stove, right? Place oven, and we'll set that down here. You finish construction, place oven. Your material token falls out of the oven. Okay, well, where did they go? Because I need those. Okay, they are in my inventory. That's good. So we placed an oven. Let's plug this in. Plug in appliance, and we'll plug that into the fridge. And power flow -46. Yeah, that's just the, presumably that's just the fridge working. Everything is frozen. That's right, it's a freezer, not a fridge. And I did see people saying that whenever they left the Sky Island and came back, it would turn off their appliances. I don't know if that's still the case. So is this turned on? Yeah, so the freezer's still on. The battery charger is still on, although everything is charged. And here you'll see what I was talking about. The batteries now have more charge than what they're capable of containing. So I think if I pick one of these up, the battery charge is going to fall out. Your battery 22 falls into your jeans. So if I look in my inventory and we have a look at battery, see what we got. 22 of 22. Yeah, we have this miscellaneous floating battery charge here, which is obviously not how that's supposed to work, but that's just part of it being migrated and us having an existing save that's overcharged. So I don't really know super what to do about that, because I'm not sure what to do with all this superfluous energy charge that's just sort of in our pockets, which makes no sense. But so we'll put down the batteries while we're here, I guess, because we have them in our inventory, which we don't really need, or maybe we won't because I can't find them. Let's go drop our anvil, because that's weighing us down. We'll drop that up here with we really should set up like some forge tools up here so we can get a look at what all we have currently. In fact, let's drop the anvil over here. We'll just drop everything like we would normally, and then we'll sort it that way. When we go down, we can see all of our tools together, and we can get an idea of which forge tools we're missing. So we'll drop all that stuff. Hopefully we didn't drop anything like valuable that we needed to keep in our inventory. Okay, so that menu is broken. What's going on with this? Why? What is this? What's wrong with my menu? Zone manager looks okay, but when you go to sort, it's completely messed up, and it's not on my second monitor. I thought maybe it stretched all the way over there, but that doesn't make sense. So thankfully I know what these are. Actually, I don't know what the bottom one is. Wood planks, auto fetch tools. Yeah, I don't know what that option is, but we're going to loot static zones only. That's weird. Again, we're updating to MGUI or whatever it's called. So a lot of these menus are changing. Like you'll see it's different colors now. It's like a more transparent gray color, things like that. The main menu looks different, some of that stuff. And so it's updating to use that new library. So it looks like this menu maybe isn't working, or maybe it's broken because I scale up my display, but it looks like the other menus are working. So I'm not sure why, what the problem with that one specifically is. But regardless, so we sorted out our items. Let's go down and have a look at what forge tools we have. We really should set up another lamp as well, because I don't like how dim it is down here. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, but... So if we have a look at our tools, let's look for, what's a good forging recipe? What's something we would actually forge, by the way? I don't even know. We don't really want a steel spear because... did we ever make a spear strap? No, that's right. It required leather for no obvious reason. So that annoyed me, and we don't have to rehash that. But probably not going to make a spear strap because I don't have leather and I don't have an awl, even though we can make one. It's just a screwdriver, basically. But so we probably wouldn't make a spear... like the steel spear is one that we traditionally would go to kind of in the mid game. Everyone loved the steel spear, all that kind of stuff. Why does it say I don't have a tool with anvil of 3 or more? What happened to my anvil? Anvil? Does it not count as a tool? Maybe it's still upstairs? Maybe it's because it's in item form and we would have to deploy it as a furniture item. Anvil? Yeah, so it's down here. So if I look for anvil, do I have to deploy this? Is that why? Pritchett hole, and hardy hole. You don't know how to fight effectively. Yeah, that makes sense. It's an anvil. 25 lumps of steel. Yeah, so it doesn't have the anvil quality, so we probably have to deploy it, I assume. So if we look in the construction menu for anvil, yeah, place anvil, that will then give us that level 3 quality. So we do actually have that tool quality. So we could make this steel spear. We have everything required for it except for the spear shaft, like the actual materials, which is something we would work towards. But the point is we have all the tools that would be required for that, which is pretty interesting because I thought we were short, like, I didn't know we had tongs. I didn't know we had a file set. So that's pretty great that we have those things. It would take 1 day and 9 hours for a steel spear. That seems pretty ludicrous considering it's just a pole with a spearhead on it. I'm not an experienced blacksmith, but I'm pretty sure if you gave me like 1 afternoon to make a steel spearhead, I could probably do that. So the idea, and why does it have the carving proficiency? We're already using a pre-made spear shaft, so I don't understand that. So I think that recipe is pretty nonsense. We're not going to take advantage of that. I think maybe, if you're a contributor looking at this, maybe we could get rid of that carving proficiency at least. And it is just a spearhead. Why would I need 33 hours to make a single little spearhead? Anyway, let's not dwell. Let's look at the warhammer. That's one I used to use all the time. Don't have that recipe. That's okay. We actually probably don't have a lot of the higher tier weapon recipes because they're locked behind some of the more specific books, I think. Well, let's just look for like sword and see what swords we have. Yeah, so we don't have any of these like actually manufactured sword recipes. So we probably just don't have a high enough tier fab book to really get a lot of the good late game forged weapons. I don't really know what to do about that because we can't really target books, right? Like if we're on Sky Island and we zap down to an area where there's no books, like what do you do, right? You can't really work around that. So what would we even craft? Because like the bat's actually like a really decent weapon. We would prefer a weapon that didn't split damage. Like we would prefer it be all 30 points of damage in bash instead of splitting between bash and cut. But so what do people even make? I guess the iron shod quarterstaff used to be a good one. Is this still good? It requires a bow, sheet metal, drilling. What does this even come out to? 27 damage with a +3 to hit. That's not even, it is, it's hard to compare because our bat is pretty good already. But the rapid strike ability, I put a lot of value in this. I know a lot of people complain about it. They're like, oh, well, anything with armor, it ruins it. And it's like, yeah, but it's really good against, unarmored creatures. Sweep attack, also very good. I like sweep attack quite a lot. This would be an upgrade, I bet, just in general for us. How long does this take? 2 hours and 15 minutes? Yeah, essentially all you're doing is hammering like a steel cap on, like you're just hammering bands and caps on a wooden stick. So the issue would be making the bow, honestly, which I don't know how to search for a bow because it has that little accent on it. What does this require? It takes 10 hours. It takes you longer to make the bow than the hammering the caps on. It makes a lot of sense, actually. We have the long stick, we have animal cooking oil, and it basically just carving it, which it looks like we don't have that proficiency, but I thought because it's color-coded blue, I thought that meant we did have it. So we could make this, you know, well, let's look at the iron shot again. Let's compare the DPS, I guess. So it's 22.19, so 22, 14, 13, let's say. 22, 14, 13, and we'll have a look here, 26, 17, 12. So our weapon is better. Oh, sigh. Okay, I really do like the sweeping and the rapid strike though, but this is just better, I guess. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna use the bat for a while. I'm not sure why I was working towards the forge if I didn't have any of the forging recipes. All right, well, let's read our new books so we can get access to their recipes at least. Cucina Italiana, Diesel Punk Designs, no idea what's in that. Let's have a look at that. Pair of tire arm guards, tire leg guards, tire suit, tire motorcycle jacket. Okay, so just tire stuff, not really very exciting. Liverlicious recipes your kids will love. Can make leprechaun sausage, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Buttery duck bite. What the hell is this food? Leprechaun. Let's look this up. Leprechaun. I don't have the recipe. Why? I just unlocked the recipe. Did I spell leprechaun wrong? Sausage. No. So we don't have the recipe. We must not have the skill required to cook it. That's okay. Well, I have no idea what that would be. I assume it's sausage made of leprechauns. Trapper's Life, just make a bear trap, not really interesting. You can can at home, yeah, some basic food stuff. Yeah, all those were food books, of course, we found at that farmhouse. Not super interesting, but always good to expand your recipes. So we'll drop those. What do we want to do around base? It's nighttime. You know, I don't even know what skills to raise anymore. What are our skills looking at? We're survival 4, fab 5. Electronics is pretty low. Applied science, we don't really care. Tailoring's pretty low. Why did I even raise tailoring to 3? It must have been for something. I don't remember. Maybe it's because our fabrication is too low that we don't have access to those recipes. Let's look at our books. Do we have, let's say, weapon? Let's search for weapon. Hafted weapons, borders away, steel-edged weapons, and pole arms. So I assume we probably have some recipes for higher tier weapons. It's just that we don't have the skills required to use them. This book can help you practice. Well, where does it list the recipes? I thought it said this book can help you practice pole arm, spear. So is this just like it's like a training book for your skills? I thought it was a weapons like crafting book. So let's look at the other one. Maybe there are recipes in this one. Hafted weapons in medieval helps you train spear but what about, are there no recipes in it? It's a book about hafted weapons, but it's not teaching you anything about how to make or because the idea of our books is that you see things in it and it inspires you to make recipes, even if the recipe isn't explicitly in the book. So you would think a book showing a bunch of pictures and how to use weapons would inspire you to craft those weapons, but maybe I'm missing something here. I feel dumb. I feel like it should just show the recipes, like I'm just missing something here. So let's look at advanced electronics. Yeah, see here it says the recipes, so it must just not contain recipes. Okay, well, I don't even know what forge books we would be looking for. I remember there were so many that were like traditional Japanese weaponry. I think we had like Arabic arms and armor that had a lot of recipes, so we must just not have any of those. I mean, it's okay. Like I said, okay, let's not dwell on it. Like I said, we have a good enough weapon for now. It's not really a huge concern. This will carry us for a long time. You know what's crazy? We're on episode like 51. We're literally only a week into the game. We've been playing for like 30 hours and we're still only a week into it. This game takes forever, man. All right, so what do we work on? Internet? I have absolutely no idea. My brain's not working. Like I literally just sat here in silence for like 30 seconds because I can't actually think of what to do. Okay, break it down into manageable chunks, just like real life. When you feel overwhelmed, you got to break things down into manageable chunks. So we're in minimal pain, not really a big deal, but we are hungry. Why don't we slap some band-aids on our injured arm? So we should have some bandages here. Boiled makeshift bandage. We'll slap that on our arm for a little bit of, I don't even know if that's raising our skill at this point. So we've taken care of our injuries. Let's have something to eat and drink. Very manageable, very very small, easy thing to deal with. This is in fact our food pile. Maybe we should put our new stove to work. 24 wrappers of protein. I didn't know we had that many protein rations. We have 3 earthworms. Fantastic. Let's see if we can cook something for dinner here. That way we can use our cooking skill a little bit, which I almost never do. Crafter cannot craft this because they lack the theoretical knowledge to understand the recipe. Okay, well, why even show it then? So we have all these seeds, not interesting. Fruit juice, we don't care. Seasoned scrambled eggs. Well, we were trying to save our bird eggs for an upgrade, but yeah, the more that time passes, the less likely that's going to work. So, in fact, we were going to put our eggs in the freezer. Did we do that? No. That's why we brought the eggs back, was to freeze them. Because we need them for a craft, but they were going to go bad so fast that we weren't sure we were going to be able to get the recipe in time. So we'll put those in the freezer. I don't think it'll ruin them for crafting, so I guess we're going to do that. So we'll freeze the eggs. So let's not cook the eggs. Let's make some, sure, fried Spam. Who doesn't like a little fried Spam? Now that it's been fried, this Spam is actually pretty tasty. So once we open the can, we're going to have to eat all of it. Let's just make, I guess, 2 portions of this. Fry a little Spam. I assume it's like 2 per... Well, I guess, I don't know the portion size of Spam. Have you ever opened a can of Spam, Internet? Do you actually eat Spam? I know some people don't. I don't know. My family makes it every now and then. It's 2 fried Spam. Hot. 180 calories. We'll eat those. And let's check our medicine or our vitamin intake as well. Plenty of everything, so we're not worried about that. Man, I really don't know what to do around the base today. What else would we do for construction? Yeah, I don't really like Spam. Our family makes it sometimes, but just not a huge fan. And then when you open it, it's just like a blob of meat in the shape of a can that's like surrounded by this disgusting fatty jelly on the outside. It's very gross. So what would we want to construct, Internet? I know we were going to make that infinity, what is that called? The infinity tree, I think, is the one we needed yet. Infinity tree sapling. The problem is I thought we didn't have warp shards. Looks like we do. So we actually could make this, and that would give us access to wood for our material tokens as well. I don't know how important this actually is. We have a lot of wood currently. Maybe we should save our warp shards for something better. And then we don't have anything for upgrades, although since I updated the game, there actually probably are more upgrades available at the statue. So let's talk to the statue here. Empower, nope, nothing there. Upgrade expeditions, nothing there. Construction, one of my bunker constructions had an error. Could you help me fix it? Yeah, so, you know, in case you're playing this casually on your own as well, there was an issue where if you had a vehicle set up in your Sky Island and you tried to do one of the map expansions, it would break, it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't tell you that it didn't work, and there would be no way for you to ever upgrade again, which is obviously a huge issue. People want to upgrade. It's like the whole point of Sky Island is to have that persistent upgrade of your base. So there's a new option now. So if you ever try to construct with and by the way, appliances count as vehicles. So like our stove downstairs will break our upgrade. So you have to unplug it before you set it up. So if you ever break an upgrade, you unplug all your appliances, turn them back into items, whatever, come up here, you'll tell the statue, hey, it broke, can you fix it? And it'll update again, and it won't cost you any materials, just whatever you paid initially, and it should fix that error. So this is actually a really, I know it seems small, this is like a really great thing that they added. Thank you. I think Standing Storm did this. They've been doing a lot of stuff. They're the ones who made Mind Over Matter, which is another very popular mod, and I believe they were the one who set that up. So did I break one previously, or is this just always here? Let's hit enter. Please remove all obstructing appliances or vehicles from this section of the island in question. Where do you need help with? I need help with the hollow carver stage of the main room. So maybe I did break an upgrade. You hear grinding sound from beneath. So I probably should have saved before I did that, because it might break everything downstairs. But let's have a look. No, nothing changed, so everything seems okay. But it might have just, silently failed again. But anyway, it's, it's an option now if you ever break your upgrade. So that's something. And then let's just keep checking. Anything else? No, it looks like we don't actually have any other upgrades at this time. Again, we're not very far into our actual playthrough. Even like it's been so long that I've been recording this, but we're only a week into the game. So we actually haven't had very many upgrades or done very much in this save. I'm a little paralyzed. I don't actually know what to do here. I don't remember what we were working on. I feel like it's been so long since I played and my brain is just not working. I guess we could continue raising our fabrication. It's just like at this point, we're getting to the point where it's a little bit more expensive to craft raised fabrication. It looks like we did raise our theoretical above this, so that's something that will help as well. We could raise electronics. We don't really have the materials to raise electronics. I don't really care about applied science. I guess we could work on fab. Of course, we could raise our food handling, but who cares about that really? So let's have a look at P fab and see what we can make here. Adjustable stock. Is there anything we actually could use that would be of value to us instead of just crafting for the sake of crafting? Pair of swim goggles. No. Someone was just complaining about this. Yeah, you basically duct tape and super glue goggles and it just makes them waterproof magically, which is a bit silly. Atlatl spears. Nope, not gonna need those. Adjustable stock. Marksmanship's too low. We can make a wooden great bow. No, probably not. Yeah, none of this is plastic working. Can make a longbow. I don't know what to do here. I think we were crafting paper before, and that's what we were using to kind of level up because it was relatively inexpensive. So I guess we'll do that. I don't know that it takes 2 hours to make paper. I guess that makes sense. And it makes 50 paper. Sure, we'll use some splintered wood. I don't know what to do, internet. I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel so out of it. Like my brain is just not working. I feel so bad because we're always talking about my health issues, but they've just been so bad lately. And it makes me feel like I'm not even a person anymore. I feel like I'm just a blob of symptoms that lays around my house and can't do anything. It's so frustrating because I feel like I have a really good brain most of the time. Like I feel like I'm a very smart, caring person who's very empathetic, has a lot of emotional knowledge and wisdom about the world and things like that. But then I feel so paralyzed because I'm so incapable despite having a good mind. I feel like the medication, the physical health, the pain, the discomfort all the time makes my brain work worse. And then I feel like it's so hard to put into words. It's like the person that I know I am is not able to exist, and so I'm just sort of this suppressed person at all times. It's upsetting, honestly. I don't know, it's weird. And then I look at YouTube and I watch the numbers dwindle and I'm like, remember you used to work on this every day and now it's so hard to get out of bed and move around, and I don't know, man. Theoretical understanding of fabrication has increased to 6. Your practical skill has increased to 6. I don't suppose that opened up any cool weapons. If I look for the Warhammer again, probably not. Oh, we have Tulwars, which is new, and a War Scythe. Okay, so those were things we didn't have a minute ago, I'm pretty sure. I know some people really like the War Scythe, but I'm pretty sure it's a terrible weapon. I think people just like it for the memery. It's basically just a huge scythe that's it says War Scythe, but realistically, people didn't use scythes as actual military weapons. It was just sort of a weapon of opportunity as they needed it from the fields, things like that. Not ideal at all, but people like it. It deals, what is this, 59 damage, quite high, +1 to hit. It's pretty terrible, but it's actually not a great weapon. Cut damage in the late game, not really great. I don't really like cut damage in general. It's very slow. It is a giant two-handed scythe that you're trying to attack people with. So I hate this thing. I do see people reference it sometimes as a fan favorite. I don't really get it, but that is something apparently we have the option to make now. We can make a Tulwar, which is also not something I've ever used before. It looks like the DPS is not super great. It is worse than our bat currently. It looks like it has a -1 to hit. Why would it have a -1 to hit? It's a weapon designed to be used in war. You would think it would at least be a neutral attack. It is a one-handed weapon. What's a curved sword used by the Raj of India? In the 16th century, a Tulwar is usually impeccably decorated and able to take off a limb with a single swipe. This one, however, is made of mild steel and lacks even a proper grip. Okay, so it's because it's kind of a poorly made weapon. So if we had a high steel Tulwar, it would be a better grip, a better manufactured weapon, and probably have a lot better stats. Okay, I didn't realize that was such a distinction with the handles and things, because that -1 to hit is it's going to ruin your DPS compared to something that's a +2 or whatever. So we go over to bashing weapons. Did we get anything new? These should be sorted by skill level, right? So the high skill ones, no, it's craftable first. So it looks like a Tonfa is 6. Tonfa do have the rapid strike ability, which is pretty great, but unfortunately their DPS is so low compared to the bat that we have. And this is a plastic one, so it requires the vacuum mold. We're never going to make this. Loaded stick, also pretty good. It's just we already have a bat and it's not really worth the crafting time to make a lead stick when we already have a comparable weapon, basically. It is all bash damage, which is obviously better than splitting the damage with cut like our current weapon, but overall the DPS is about the same, so it's not really a super big deal. Yeah, none of these are properly manufactured, so we must just not have the books, is what I'm realizing. This one sword I can never pronounce. This is the one with the obsidian embedding, right? Improvised version, close combat weapon that was mainly used by Aztecs, not sturdy, but it will break someone's skull. Yeah, you can break a skull with a lot of things. I mean, come on. Makeshift homemade pole hammer. Yeah, so none of this is speaking to me. God, I feel internet. Okay, so we're at like 35 minutes. I'll be honest, brain's not working, struggling a little bit here, not sure what to do. So I'm going to try to think about that moving forward. So hopefully in the next episode, we come in with a little bit more of a plan, a little bit more of a goal. Everyone, for now, just thank you for being here. Again, just have been struggling so much lately. I appreciate how many people have stuck around this long as the channel kind of dies. I really appreciate you. And yeah, I'll be back soon, hopefully with more content. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.